I am going to explain our assignment, Innovating and Scaling for Social Transformation. So the assignment is to look at interception points for social inclusion and agricultural innovation systems. As we've spoken about, we want to look at our agricultural innovation systems or the tools we're observing or concepts that we're looking at and understand different points of social leverage using social theory, with the ultimate goal of incorporating social theory to be more effective in innovating and scaling for positive social outcomes. So you will work on the ACE frameworks that you already have. You can consider theories of disruption and draw upon social theory that speaks to you. So some of the examples I have here is decolonization, decentralization, feminism, or concepts such as human-centered design. So looking at your ACE frameworks, where can you consider social theory and moments and leverage points of social theory in order to change the way we think of how agricultural innovation systems work in order to have this more outcome-driven, which is positive social impact from the ACE framework. And you really can choose whichever social theory speaks to you, whatever you have the most familiarity with, what you're perhaps curious about. A general Google search should present quite a few that you can apply and learn more about. So the instructions here is you're going to use your existing ACE framework that you all have. Hopefully you're already familiar with some of its limitations and strengths. And you're going to look it over to see where you can be more inclusive. As I mentioned, you can select any social theory you like, whatever speaks to you, whatever your group is most interested in. We're also happy to help you identify these as necessary, but I will say that there is no wrong answer here. It's really just what you have an interest in and feel comfortable applying. And then you will do your analysis. So identify the key components of your chosen ACE framework and determine where it can be more socially inclusive using your selected social theory as a lens. So again, you're looking for these points of leverage. Where within the ACE framework would an agriculture research and development actor have enough control to interfere in some way and change the mechanism or the system in which you're applying that ACE framework? And then you'll do more of a conceptual development. So this will be a visual representation or a very clearly laid out text argument for where you can include these social theories. And as I put it, interception points for social inclusion. You'll then apply your theory and citation. So what theories did you use? What citations are they coming from? And your ACE framework if you haven't already cited it. And then you'll present a very short critique of the social strengths and weaknesses of your conceptual framework and discuss the implications of incorporating social inclusion into the ACE framework. So each ACE framework that you're using will inherently have strengths and weaknesses from a social perspective. So it's good to acknowledge those, and then where there's weaknesses, show where you've applied your social theory to strengthen the effectiveness or conceptual representation of the social theory. So ultimately, you'll be responsible for visual representation, which you will present in class and upload, and a work cited, and then a theory justification and a bit of your critical analysis would be nice within this 0.5 to 1 page per group, explaining your choice of social theory and how you anticipate the outcomes might differ with the social lens you applied. So how does this social theory representation change the way you might see this ACE framework if it was operationalized? And ultimately, what we're driving for, which I have spoken about, is we want to understand where there are these points of leverage for social inclusion within ACE frameworks. And then how do we operationalize it? So our next assignment will be looking at different tools that are already available, or tools that we might need to develop in order to systematically include these points of social leverage that you've identified. And we'll talk more about that next week. So I've already shown this to you in a couple of other examples, but this is one way to think about an agricultural innovation system and the places where you can consider more social leverage or points of social leverage. And this is where we have control as agricultural research or development actors. So we can consider more social theory when we choose our innovations and curate our innovation. And then we can also think about social differentiation and apply social theory within our scaling processes, which ultimately we hope to have some sort of impact in the external environment. If you have any questions, again, reach out to myself, Kristen, or Kat, and we will be happy to answer them. Thank you.